Hey guys, how are you doing? Yesterday we got the I'm always call it Facebook, right? Actually now she has a new name, Meta Platform, right? Her performance, if you just take a look on that, not very bad, right? Not very bad. But if you take a trend of the past 4 or 5 quarter, I am quite worrying on that because it starts to show that her earning is dropping. Her earning power, the power of dropping, the power of earning is dropping. So I make the conclusion first. If you still holding Facebook and you do not want to sell it out, then I still recommend you to sell half of it. We sell it out already, right? Just when she crashed, then we sell out all, and then I sold my shares at the same time as the portfolio as well. So if you do not want to sell all of the Facebook, right, then I recommend you to at least sell half. Because from this performance, and when I'll show you, linked it together with few quarters before, it now I think now the share price is reflected for this performance already. But how about the coming one? Right? The coming one is it's the performance that makes me very worried about Facebook, right? So let us start first, right? So our Falcon portfolio yesterday, Dow Jones and Nasdaq rise a lot, right? So while our Falcon portfolio been rised from 53%, then back to nearly 60%, and ends up with 59%. So if you have any stock want me to analyze, or for any that you think I can comment, then you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. Right, so this is our Falcon portfolio, and it's now better, right? The lowest point is 53%, and then yesterday, then it rise up back to 57%. Sorry, 57%. So I think now the VR is just some gimmicks, right? It never exists, right? Never exists. A lot of people that right is doing some metaverse, right? Like the Googles, right? Like other devices. I think it's just gimmick, right? It's over already. So don't be so overreacted to it, right? So this is our covering. And Dow Jones yesterday rised at more than 600 points. Same to Nasdaq rised at more than 3%. Why does this happen? The US GDP fell 1.4%, right? That's because the US dollar is very strong. It's quite unexpected. Right? You can see that the 30-year Treasury bond is close to 3%. So a lot of money, you can call it hot money, rush into United States assets like the stock, like the bonds, like the housing, whatever, ETF, whatever, then whatever assets is in US dollar, right? Because it's strong, right? So it makes the stock market strong because it's calculated in US dollar, right? I think it will continue to be strong for maybe 1 quarter more because it is increasing the interest rate, right? And talking about Apple, right? We just use few minutes for Apple. Apple's performance is good, but the lockdown of China will affect her a lot. A lot of the subsidiary factories in China's been locked down. They cannot do the production, right? Some of the spare parts is not available. So a lot of the Taiwan semiconductor subsidiary factories, they are forced to move out of China. Quite rush to Vietnam or to, I think it's to Vietnam because Vietnam is most close. It is not easy. It's not easy because we are talking about moving a factory, right? Moving a factory is not like moving a person. A lot of things or supply chain, then you have to reorganize. So you can see, even though yesterday Apple's performance is good, and it after the performance, you don't see that it rised more nearly 3%, but after the closing, then it dropped it 3 to 6%. So we'll see tonight. But the lockdown of China really imposed a lot of hurt to Apple or to Microsoft, other big giant that still has a lot of spare parts that making in China. So let's talk about Meta platform. So this share price chart is terrible, right? So just few months before, then it dropped it. It dropped it for Facebook. It dropped it from 380 now to 200. That means it dropped it nearly a half. It dropped it nearly a half, and although yesterday it rose at 19%, but the trend of Facebook's earning then made me quite worried about that. And although the PE ratio is very low, just 15, but the low PE ratio doesn't mean you can buy it. Let's take a look on those figures. We can see that the revenue nearly no increment. Actually, it has some for the first quarter is 6%, all right, 6%, right. But for the net income, it is terrible. The net income dropped at 21.3%. So this is terrible, right? The revenue increased, but the net income, in the contrary, decreased in 21.4%, 21.3, 21.4%. What happened? If we divided the income into different regions, then you can see that in United States and Canada, nearly no increment, right? Europe, nearly no increment, and then Asia Pacific better, increased at 10%, and the rest of the world increased at about 20%. But for the main area of United States and Canada and Europe, nearly no increment. This makes us worry because it's saturated there. So take a look on that, right? No need to see the reality lapse. That means the income in between, because the portion is very small. So concentrate on the family of apps. All the income from Facebook is from the advertisement. More than 90% is from advertisement, right? You can see that the revenue increased at 6%, but the income, in the contrary, decreased at 13%. It's because the cost and expense increased at 27%. That means you earn $1, you earn $6, but you spend $27 more. So of course you get a negative, right? So take a look on some data. Still not good, right? This is from Facebook's annual report. So you can see that so divide them into colors, right? And the darkest color is US and Canada. You can see that the active user, no increment for a long time already, right? Active user daily, no increment for a long time already, 195, 196. Okay, for Europe, no increment for a long time already, right? Then for Asia Pacific, that means maybe in Hong Kong, it has some increment. And then for the rest of the world, then it still has some increment. But for the rest of the world, nearly no increment. Only Asia Pacific. This makes us worry, right? Because the daily active user give you an idea how many people using Facebook. If less people use Facebook, then the advertisement won't place there, because nobody see the advertisement there, right? So you can see that just from this, the owners of US and Canada and Europe for Facebook saturated already. Unless you can make the advertiser pays more advertisement to you. But you have to give them something, is the increasing daily active user. But no. So how will they impose more advertisement on you, right? It happened a long time before. It happened 2 years before, already, not just from this 1 and 2 years. Okay, then we take a look on the revenue. So for non-advertisement revenue, negligible because too small. Then you can see that now, for the first season of this year, the advertisement revenue, actually it goes back to something between 2021's April and May. You can see that, right? You can see that it's 26,998. It's less than June of last year, right? So the revenue is decreasing. And last season is very good, right? So I don't know, I do not know for the coming season, it will go up or go down, but actually it's decreasing quite quick. You can see the capital expenditure is increasing in a terrible speed and portion, right? Let me calculate for the annual, for the capital expenditure for 2020 to 2021. It's increasing in a speed per year as 25%. So at least the money spent has to increase the net income to at least 25%, right? But it's not like that. So we can see the expense as a percentage of the revenue, right? You can clearly see that it keep on climbing up. It keep on climbing up from 2021, and then just this season it climbed up to the highest one. You can see that total height of the bars are very high, right? You can see that the cost of revenue increasing than last year, and then the R&A increasing at 28%, and then the marketing and sales increased. That's okay, 12%, right? And then the GA 8%. And then what the hell is doing for the R&A, right? R&A and the cost of revenue. It's increasing at a turbo speed, but not the net income. That means for the money deployed, it doesn't raise in the same proportion of the net income. I just studied Visa in Hong Kong Pay program. For Visa, the cost of revenue only increased 11%, but the net income increased more than 27%. Maybe it's the nature of the business, but Facebook clearly is not doing good, right? Not doing good. You can see that. So if you still have Facebook, then I recommend, and you do not want to sell it out for all, then I would recommend you at least sell half of your shares. I have to admit that this share price already reflected the performance of the first quarter, but may not be the second. The second may be even worse. I do not know. Because I explained it in my program already. Now, because of the privacy of Android and iOS, so it cannot follow the cookies anymore. That means for the advertiser, they may not impose the same amount of the advertisement to Facebook because it's not precise anymore. But they still have to impose the advertisement to Apple and Android because they have the system, they have the cell phone. But Facebook, she only have the app. Without the app, she is nothing, right? She cannot do anything because she is just an app, right? So that's the killing one. So we have to see 1 or 2 more seasons. But I can see the trend of Facebook is doing bad, right? It may be structural, I don't know, but it's quite like structural. So if you still holding Facebook, sell half of it at least, or better, sell all of them, right? Because the performance now is going bad and bad, right? This is my own idea, right? Okay, thank you for watching. And if you like this program, please share to your friends. And please help to press the subscribe button and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is new program uploaded, YouTube will inform you. All right. Okay, this is Friday, and I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.